Our female cricketers are like forgotten cousins. The number of persons in this community are larger than the number who watch a West Indies female match. Hello, everyone. This is the Cricket Forum, your place for the latest news, views, rumors, and gossips in the world of cricket. Please slash a like on the video, share, and click on that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. Today, we have with us the West Indies batter and wicketkeeper, Rashada Williams. Welcome, Rashada Williams, to the show, and thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure being here. Thank you.
Yes. Where are you now, Rashada?
I'm home.
Home as in Jamaica.
Jamaica, yes.
When did you get home?
Yesterday afternoon.
Yesterday afternoon. Where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Antigua. We had a camp.
Okay. But I heard your coach speaking last night, Robert Samuels, and he said this camp was about working on specifics. We have been working with the players and specific skills, batting, bowling, and fielding care, targeting specific things. What are those specific things that you were working on at this camp?
Well, there was a wicket-keeping specialist. Unfortunately, I didn't get to spend a lot of time with him because I entered the camp late. So we targeted my wicket-keeping skills. And then in the batting, we targeted foot movements, piercing gaps, running hard between the wickets, using soft hands, because, most times in our games, we tend to soak up a lot of dot balls. So we were trying to limit that in our sessions.
Okay. So how did you find it? What about the intensity? Can you tell us about the intensity of the camp?
Well, it was a high intensity camp. I mean, we had a lot of work, fitness, batting.
You are welcome to ask Rashada questions. You are welcome to ask Rashada. Go ahead, Rashada.
Yeah, it was high intensity. We had a lot of fitness work to get them because, if they want us to run hard between the wicket, then we have to be fit to maintain that level of running. So it was really a good camp. The intensity was top notch.
Okay, Rashada, let's start at the beginning. Where were you born? Where did you go to school? Your parents? How many siblings in the family?
I was born in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, at the Spanish Town Hospital. I attended Imogen Brady. Then I went on to Angels Primary. Then I went on to Eltham High School. Then I am currently at the Mike University College. My parents, they aren't together, but on my mommy's side, I have two sisters. They're younger than I am. On my father's side, I have 5 siblings, 2 sisters.
Who's that person in the picture? That's your mother in the picture?
Yes, that's my mother.
That's your mother in that picture. So you have 4 siblings and you live with both parents?
No, I just live with my mom and her husband.
Okay. So we are speaking to West Indies wicketkeeper batter Rashada Williams. Rashada Williams, West Indies reached the semi-finals of the last World Cup. How did you feel? How did you feel about playing in the semi-finals of a World Cup cricket? The male team has not reached that far for a while, but here is it that the female team reached the semi-finals of the World Cup.
I mean, it was awesome to know that my debut World Cup, I was actually able to play in the semi-finals. It was unfortunate the results didn't go in our favor, but I mean, to be there on this world stage, everyone can see me, was a really, really wonderful feeling.
Okay. What can you recall when you were first introduced to cricket? How did that come about? How did it come about when you were first introduced to cricket?
Well, I remember starting Eltham. I used to play lawn tennis before going to high school. However, when I went to Eltham, they didn't have that. So the coach was like, you can come to cricket training. I was like, all right, okay. And then I just showed up there and things seemed easy because I didn't have any challenge performing any of the skills. But at that time, I really didn't take cricket serious. I didn't know anything about cricket, actually. I didn't even know that we had a female team.
So there was a female cricket team at your school?
No, it was just male. I had to play with the males.
You actually were playing with the males at your school?
Yes, I was.
You mean like Edley Cup? Well, the competition in Jamaica, the school competition in Jamaica is called Edley Cup. You were playing Edley Cup with the
Yeah.
boys.
Yes, I was. I played under 14. I captained under 16,
You
and
captained the boys in the under 16.
yes, I did.
Go ahead.
And I played 1 year of Grey Shield because in Kingston, well, we call in the urban area we call it Grey Shield.
Right.
So I played 1 year of that, and the following year I got banned because they were basically saying it wasn't good for me, as in the boys were getting stronger and they were more aggressive.
So that's why this art. You remember this article?
Yes,
Was
I
it at that
remember.
time that this article was published about you? Because this article caused a lot of stir in Jamaica. Do you remember this article?
Yes, I
It was
remember
when
that.
you were prevented from playing with the boys that this article was published.
Right, that was 2015.
That was
Right.
2015.
Yeah.
What was the feedback like from this article?
Um,
You can ask Rashada a question if you so desire. What was the feedback like from this article?
I don't remember.
Welcome to the show, Anthony Kepper.
I don't remember word to word what this article was about, but I mean, I was really disappointed because at that time I couldn't play under 16. I was older than that, so I was really disappointed that I wasn't able to play any cricket. So I
And you
was
wanted to play with the under 19 boys, and they were saying that it is unsafe for you to play with the under. Do you think
right.
that you could have played with them?
Of course, of course. I think it was probably more about ego rather than it being unsafe.
Why do you say it was about ego? Those are serious allegations.
Well, I mean, I've played with the boys, like I played with them the year before, and it was the very same set of males that I'll be playing with the following year. They were getting stronger, but so was I. I mean, you know that when a female probably play a cover drive or a cut shot off a male, you know a bumper is coming next. But I wear the same supporting gears as the men, so
So
I
you
didn't
weren't
see the
afraid
issue.
of them, no
No,
matter what speed they were clocking.
no.
When did you realize though that you wanted to become an international cricketer?
When I gained more knowledge of the sport, knowing that I attended the same school as Stephanie Taylor, and she was my captain. So she basically laid the foundation for me at high school. I think it was around 2013 when my coach said, you'll be going to a trials. So I was like, trials, and you explained that they had female cricket. So I went there and I was like, okay, all right, cool, learn a lot. And then the following year I started to
This
take the
trial was
game.
what? An under 19 trial or a senior trial or what?
It was a senior trials.
For Jamaica?
Yeah, for Jamaica senior women
And what
team.
age were you at that time? 16?
Yes, I was 16.
And you went to the senior Jamaica trials.
That's
How
right.
did you perform at that trials?
I find I was pretty decent for my first year. It was pretty decent. I think that year I made the reserve. Right, I made the reserve, and that was my first year at trials. The following year, 2014, then I went on to make the senior team.
The Jamaica senior team. How
Right,
old were you then?
17.
You were 17 when you made the Jamaica senior team.
Right,
You're a student at the Michael University.
right.
What do you study there?
Bachelor's degree in physical education.
Oh, so you're doing physical. So you would like to become the West Indies coach or the fitness trainer?
Well, I haven't thought so far ahead as it relates to that, but I am thinking about being a teacher and a coach. I would like to give back to the high school that I went.
Talking about coach, you know that Phil Simon will as resign as West Indies cricket coach. Who do you think should be the coach of the team? Or you do not want to answer that question?
Yes, I plead the fifth.
You play the fifth. Was it at Michael you were when you get the call up to represent the West Indies?
Yes, 2019. That's when I got my first call up. Not
Yes.
2019, yes. But that was a tour for Pakistan, Dubai. I didn't play any game for that tour. And
Yes.
then 2021, that's when I got called up again, leading up to making my debut for the T20 and the ODIs.
Okay. Who were your first match against?
My first game was against Pakistan, both in the
You can
AC.
ask. You can leave a question in the comment, I will ask Rashada the question for you and she will answer. So if you have a question to ask Rashada, we are talking to West Indies wicketkeeper batswoman Rashada Williams. So if you have a comment, if you have a question for the West Indies cricketer, you may sure leave it in the comment section. I'll ask it for her. Yes, Rashada, who did you make your debut against?
Pakistan.
You made your debut against Pakistan.
Yes, that's the
Yeah, and
ODI.
how did that match go? How did you feel in that match? How did that match went?
Well, in the A series, I was high on confidence, so
Mm-hmm.
it was a decent game for me, pretty decent game for me. Um, as it relates to the ODI, I was excited being called up to the senior team. I think that game I batted like probably 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
We won that. Well, we lost that game, but it was a good feeling know that I am out there with the best of the best in the Caribbean.
You made your first half century against South Africa, I think.
Right.
What position did you bat when you made that half century against South Africa?
I opened
You opened the innings and you made an half century against and
South Africa.
Australia. South Africa, one of the fastest bowling lineup in international cricket. How many did you make in that match?
I made 78 not out.
You made 78 not out. Did
Right.
West Indies win that match?
Yes, we won that game.
You won that game.
Right.
Now leading up to the World Cup earlier this year, you were the designated opener for the team. But there was an incident. What happened? Because in the first match, we realized that Matthews had to open with Dutton, and you were nowhere to be seen. So what happened in New Zealand earlier this year?
We had a warm up game against Australia, and I got hit in the head with a short delivery.
Who hit you? Who was the bowler?
I honestly don't remember.
You don't remember who? So we are speaking to West Indies wicketkeeper batter Rashada Williams, and she's telling us about playing against Australia in the warm-up matches before the World Cup earlier this year. She was hit in the head by an Australian pacer. What happened? Do you recall what happened after you were hit in the head?
I pretty much went through the concussion test, something short, and I felt as if I could continue. But like probably 2 balls after that, I started to feel dizzy, so I had to come off, and I didn't continue for the rest of the game. And I was on concussion watch for probably 3 games in the
Okay.
World Cup.
So, all right. I think so. You were back for the semifinals, and you
Right.
came back for the semifinals. Who did you play the semifinal against?
Australia again.
You played the semi-final against Australia again. And
Right.
that's why you didn't make any runs because to the best of my recollection, were you nervous? Were you afraid? That's why you never, because I think you made one in that match or zero.
I made a 10 ball duck.
You
I
made a
was
10 ball ducks. Were you running or something?
No, I was nervous, but I wasn't afraid. I was nervous because I know that it's my first
World Cup
ODI World Cup
semifinals?
semifinals.
Yes.
Yeah,
So, but you weren't afraid.
I wasn't afraid.
So, but you lost in the semifinals. But did the team feel satisfied with their performance reaching the semifinals, knowing that since West Indies won the World Cup in 2016, the female team have been to 2 semifinals. The male team cannot say that. How did you feel? How did the female team feel reaching the semifinals?
It was really a big accomplishment for the team, for the
Mm-hmm.
ladies, because the last ODI World Cup was in 2017 and they didn't made it out of the group stage. I think they
Mm-hmm.
only won 2 games that year, so it was a big improvement for us getting to the semifinals. Yes, we were disappointed with the end result, but we came back home and we've been going back to the drawing board and we've been working on a lot of things.
Okay. You have a series coming up later this year against England. Where's that series going to take place?
That should be in Antigua.
Or what is it? One day and T20?
Yes, we have ODIs and T20s.
Knowing that West Indies females doesn't play Test cricket, what do you think about that? You think that the team is good enough now to be playing Test cricket, or you think that ODI and T20 it should stay at that for the time being?
I mean, female cricket is evolving, and you have a lot of other countries playing tests. So it would be good if we could get a chance to play tests. But at the end of the day, we just have to wait and see what happens, because with something like this, it have to be properly planned.
We're speaking to Rashada Williams, the wicketkeeper West Indies batter, and she is now returned to Jamaica last night from a camp in Australia. Supernova 22 said Rashada Deandra spoke out about poor dressing room environment. Any idea what she was alluding to? So that's a fan asking you. It said Deandra spoke out about poor dressing room environment. Any idea what she was alluding to?
I am not aware.
You're not aware?
No.
Okay. All right. So Supernova, as you heard, she's saying that she's not aware. The World Cup is coming up next year, starting February 10th next year in South Africa. That's the T20 World Cup. There on the screen, you see West Indies coach Phil Simon giving you the cap for your T20 debut. This was against New Zealand.
Yes, this was against New Zealand.
Yes, so the World Cup, you are joining a group with India, England, Pakistan, and Ireland. 5 teams in that group. What do you think are the chances of the West Indies women qualifying out of that group in the T20 World Cup coming up in February next year, especially with India and England in that group?
I mean, the chances are high. Cricket is played on the day and it's not played on paper. And I mean, the ball is round. So once you do the right things and do it for the 20 overs, then we will be successful and we most definitely get through that group.
Okay. We saw earlier today where the England and Wales Cricket Board, the ECB, announced an increase in the pay for their players. We saw last week India also said that the men will be getting the same pay as the female match fee. What are your thoughts about this? And do you think that CWI should move in that direction?
It's a good look. I mean, the teams are driving in a positive direction, and it's just a matter of time before we drive in that positive direction as well.
So you think that soon West Indies will be paying the women an equal level with the men?
Yes, things looking positive. We'll get there.
Okay. When you're not playing cricket, what do you do?
I train, or I hang out with my friends, or go to school, or attend weddings.
You attend weddings.
Yeah.
Are you married, Rashada?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Okay, you're not married. You're planning to get married soon?
Planning to get married. Don't know
But
how
not
soon.
necessarily soon.
Yes.
Okay, good. That's a good look. I saw you here, you having fun. Where's this?
Safari Desert, in Dubai.
Oh, in Dubai.
Right.
Who's your favorite cricketer, Rashada? Male and female?
I love Stephanie Taylor for a lot of reasons. One being she paved the way for me as a youngster coming up. And I also love Kane Williamson. I think he's a great cricketer. He's a great leader. I also love MS Dhoni, especially for his leadership skills and how wonderful he is behind the stumps.
So which West Indian? I noticed that you call Stephanie Taylor because you and her went to the same school and you and her play for the West Indies. But I noticed that you call 2 players, Ken Williamson and MS Dhoni. They are outside of the West Indies. So you do not see any male West Indies cricketer that you look up to presently. Is because they are performing at such a poor level?
No. I like Shai Hope. His
You like Shai
temperament.
Hope?
Yeah, I like him.
Okay. So what is your favorite food? What's your favorite food?
Curry chicken and rice, white rice.
White rice or just You sure
No,
it's not chicken curry? The Guyanese would say chicken curry. You sure it's not chicken curry?
it's curry chicken
You
only.
represented the Guyana you represented the Guyana Amazon Warriors in the T10.
Right, right, right.
So did you get any chicken curry to eat down there? Well, you
Yes.
never went to Guyana. The team
Well,
was in
I've,
Antigua, in
I've been
St.
to
Lucia.
Guyana. We got chicken curry.
You get chicken curry. So what's
Yeah.
the difference between chicken curry and curry chicken?
It's actually the same thing that they just switch it around.
So what you say you love curry chicken and white rice. So outside of Jamaica, you have been to so many places: South Africa, New Zealand, Dubai. You have traveled the Caribbean. Outside of Jamaica, what is your favorite food?
I'm a lover of curry. So I
Yes.
like roti
Hmm.
and curry. They have another name for it, but I can't remember what they call it. But I like that.
You like roti?
Yeah.
Okay. Apart from cricket, what other sports do you play?
For I play lawn tennis. I can play football and I also played basketball for my university.
You play basketball for your university?
Right.
That's where were you at university when you got the call from CWI to that you were naming the squad?
I think I was yes. I think I was at
Super, just before you answer, Supernova 22 is saying that, of course, he knows that even if there was something in the dressing room, you were not going to say it. What he's asking, do you think CPL should be expanded teams from 3 to 5 to give more females in the region more exposure?
it's a starting process and everything takes time, but gradually I think there will be more teams in the female CPL.
Okay. He's asking, did you think that the CPL provide exposure and was it a success? The female CPL, was it a success?
Yes, I honestly think it was, and I think we got a lot of exposure seeing that we had to share the screen time with the men. So we had actually gotten a lot of exposure, and in the stands we actually had persons there supporting us. Surprisingly, the fans actually know a lot of us as females cricketer.
You spoke about sharing the screen time with the men. Now, the male World Cup is going on. Usually, the female World Cup will be going on alongside it. But the ICC have decided to move the female World Cup to be a standalone event, and that's why it is taking place in South Africa come February 10th. Do you think that this is the best idea? Should it be a standalone tournament or should it coincide with the male tournament? That means you would be in Australia right now playing the World Cup. Which one
I
do you
mean,
prefer?
it's not a bad idea to have our World Cup alone. We actually have a lot of fans, and we have persons who are interested in female cricket. So give the males their time to shine, and give us as females our time to shine as well. So it's a good idea.
If you were to become West Indies cricket West Indies president tomorrow morning, what would you do for female cricket in the region?
I think I would just basically add on to what they're doing now. They're putting a lot of effort in female cricket, and that's really good to see. I would continue with having, the emerging camps to find, upcoming players. I would continue with the under 19 program because, we have to start developing our youngsters because we have persons in the team who, they might probably close to retirement or thinking about retiring soon. Have more female competitions locally and regionally.
Is there any female cricket competition going on inside Jamaica or any other territory in the West Indies?
I am not sure about other territories. I can only speak for Jamaica, but currently there's not any cricket for females in Jamaica.
So when you're not representing the West Indies and you're not at camp, you either have to train on your own because there's no competition in Jamaica for you to play.
Right. There's SDC as a T10, but that's only for like a few weeks. After that, then we don't have any other competition to play.
You don't have any. So are you you said you used to play with the males. So would you play with the males if there's no other competition and the males are playing a competition? Would you play with the males?
I still do.
You still play with the males?
Yeah.
So you are not afraid of the pace?
No.
You can
I
ask
can
Rashada a question. Those of you in the chat, you may ask Rashada a question. She will answer. We are coming to the end of the broadcast. Yes, Rashada.
I'm not able to play in the JCA leagues, but
Right,
I can play SDC, or if they have Masters cricket, I can play that. Any other cricket that's not JCA cricket, I
right.
can play.
Okay. So what do you think need to be done then for more cricket to be played in Jamaica and the West Indies?
I think it's just all about organizing more competitions for females, whether it be franchise or just local leagues. The more cricket we play, the better we will become.
So I'm speaking to Rashada Williams, the wicketkeeper batter of the West Indies cricket team. She has just returned from a camp in Antigua where they practice specific skills according to the assistant coach, Robert Samuels. Rashada, any parting comments?
Thank you for having me. It's great to share my views on female cricket, and hopefully we can do this again.
Okay, Supernova 22 is asking, what is the transition being moving from Stephanie Taylor as a captain now to Ailey Matthews? What's the difference between both captains? I know you and both girls are good friends, and Ailey is now your captain and Stephanie is your best friend. Supernova 22 is asking, what is that transition like?
I don't think as leaders, well, on the field, I don't think they're really far apart. It hasn't been anything drastic moving from one leader to another, because Haley is more a people's person. So she gets along well with everyone. I think for Haley, she's more attacking than with a Stephanie. She would be more defensive but attacking at times.
Okay. Who's your favorite player in this West Indies team, apart from Stephanie? Is your favorite player? Because Stephanie is like your mother. My understanding is like Stephanie, you're following in her footsteps. She's like your mother.
I admire Haley as well.
You admire Ailey as well.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you for joining us, Rashada. And it was a pleasure having you. And as you said, we hope that when you come back from the World Cup next year, you'll be coming back with the trophy. Continue to work hard and may God bless you. Thank you again. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And please slash a like on the video, share, and click on that subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner. May God bless you all. Thank you very much, Rashada, for tuning in.